I'm letting you, Edmunds and Sabīne, the floor just to introduce us to the background information on how somebody starts to make an animated feature film. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor. Thank you, everyone, for coming. So, just very shortly to introduce the studio, we are Atomart is a family-owned studio for 15 years. We've been leading it together with Edmunds, and we work in two main directions. We produce animated short films, and here we collaborate with different authors, and these are some examples of what we have done over the years. We have Isle of Seals and Qualitative is Edmunds short films, then Ursus made in 2D, then Ursus is short by Reins Petersons, it's a charcoal on paper animation, then we did one puppet animation, it's about time, and the recent production is Rigas Lilac, which will be tomorrow in competition program here in Animateka. And Kafka in Love is a film which are now in development in the studio. And then the second direction in which we are working is qualitative children content. And we are also parents ourselves. We have 3 children. And over the years, we thought it's important to that there is original content rooted in the culture field, in the stories, poems, language, and visual codes of the place where the child grows up. And we saw that in Latvia there is this vacuum of this kind of content created nowadays. So we produced a preschool series, Shamis. It's an ongoing project for 10 years. We've produced 6 episodes so far, and 3 right now are in production. We have published books, we have web episodes, smart interactive books published, and it's, for 10 years it's like expanding on different platforms and formats. Then we have a Christmas special, Pigtail Mr. Sleeplessness. And after we produced these 2, we somehow saw that the next step that we would like to do and to try is a feature animated film. And so for some time we started looking for a book, contemporary author's book that could work into an animated feature. We will show the trailer so that you have the image of the film while we are telling about it.
Someone needs to get inside the building site, get into the trailer unnoticed, and exchange the plans. My choice, Jacob.
Me?
I like it.
But our opportunity to produce this film started with the Latvia's 100th anniversary. The preparation for it was celebrated in 2018, and the preparation for the celebration started already in 2015, unexpectedly early. And from National Film Center, there came an initiative which they brought to the government and to the parliament to produce 16 films as part of the official celebration, and to raise extra financing for this program. And in the result, it became one of the central events, actually, of the celebration, because over a period of year and a half, 16 new films, live action, documentary, and animated films were premiered. And apart from the fireworks, which also was very central. And so here you can see the annual support for the film industry, and you can see that in 2017, when these 100th anniversary films were in their peak production period, the financing went really up. Then now in 2019, it's again much lower, but still it's more than before the celebration. So Film Center announced the competition in 2015 for development of projects, but we were not ready at that time to apply. We were in production with our other films, Pigtail, Mr. Sleeplessness, and we skipped the application. But as I said, we already started thinking about producing the film, and we were thinking what kind of film, what kind of atmosphere, or we would like to tell. And this is the image that, of course, symbolizes it. And then we looked for the story, as I said, and found the book. Actually, our scriptwriter asked us if we had already read this story, and we hadn't. We read it very quickly. It was really exciting. We liked it, both of us, and our daughter. She was 9 at that age. She absolutely loved it. So it was really like we saw that the target audience enjoyed the story. We liked it. It had everything there already. It's a contemporary story with 2 really great characters in the center. A girl, active, with a strong will, and an imaginative boy. And a bunch of talking dogs. So the scriptwriter who suggested this book, she applied for a grant to develop a script, and she wrote a script based on the book, which could be turned in different formats, also as it could be a live-action film. But when we read the script, we right away also felt that it would work wonderfully in animation, and suggested so to further develop it into animation. And here you can see the illustrator of the book. Reinis is, we've been collaborating with him for many years. He's illustrator for Shamis and Pigtail Mr. Sleeplessness. But at that time, we were in production with Pigtail, and he was busy there. So we decided that we could look, here are some more illustrations, for another author with whom to work on the film. And we simply went to the bookstores and started browsing and searching for, so this is how we discovered Eileen.
Yeah, actually, for us, it's very important, not just the story, which is kind of very important part, but for me personally, in the same level, it's very important to understand how that film should look and what would be the visual style. And as Sabīne said, that at that moment we are working in the Pigtail, Mr. Sleeplessness with Reinis, and it's at some point at that moment it's very kind of hard, and that was true that it would be nightmare to start new project in the same time as Reinis. And that was the one reason, and the second one, we want to try something else. And we saw these books, and especially this one kind of get me idea that it's very close to that, what I can imagine when I read that book. And we start looking for more information about Elena, but we thought that would be maybe too fast to ask her if she would be ready, and we start discover around. And at that moment she was still studying in art academy, and she made his master. And I know personally tutor, and I just call to her and ask, we have that idea, we will apply for the feature film, and we have in mind, maybe we will ask Helene to be the artist for the film, and I just ask her, how do you think if she ready? Because I know that would be something very, very huge amount of work, and if she, ready as the person for that, and then tutor says yes, if there is someone in universe who can deal with that Eileen is the right person, and that gives us the courage to call her, and she was answer yes, she is ready, and she loved the book. The Latvia is very small, as you saw the illustration for that book made by Reinis, and here you can see books which also the same author, the Louise Pastor, illustrated by Aline. Each we know each other in different ways, and and she was ready to join to the project, and then Sabine received a call from Thompson.
From the Film Center. It was in 2016, and they were announcing the second call for production for this 100th anniversary program, and they wanted, and they called us and asked if we have a project with which we could apply for production money, and that because they wanted really a lot of studios to participate, to make this competition strong, to have a big variety of films to choose, and I said that we have this idea, but we are not ready to go into production. But we decided that although it's really early, but we will apply, and that will be a step in development of our project. And most probably we will not win the competition, but it still will be something how we will start to move on. And we had to prepare a 2-minute trailer for that. We will show a little bit of it.
Jākams Putns ir gluži parasts 7-gadīgs zēns. Parasti vasaras viņš pavada savā Rīgas centra dzīvoklī, bet šovasar tētim bija cits plāns.
So as you see, it's quite far from where we ended up, so we needed to produce it within we had 3 weeks time, so we really quickly produced it and applied. We had a script and 2-minute trailer, and so...
At the same time you apply for...
At the same time
media.
I also applied for media development money, because it was around the same in the autumn application, and I applied for cartoon movie presentation, which takes place in March, and I applied in development for development presentation. And so then we received the news that that we have won the competition, and that we are among the 16 projects of this centenary. As you see, there is another feature-length animation film that were also part of this project for this program, and this is us when we received the news, and this is us 1 hour later, approximately, when we understood, oh my God, how are we going to do it? It was a very limited time in which we had produced. We had less than 3 years, 2.5, for the production, basically from concept to premiere. And right then we also understood that the biggest trouble is that since there is this other feature-length animation, which is a classical 2D, and we were also intending to produce it in a classical 2D animation, that there will be not enough animators to work simultaneously on several big projects. And the third film that was then out, that was in production, was Estonian-Latvian co-production Lotte and the Lost Dragons. So all the animators were taken, busy. So that was one of the reasons why we decided to develop
we decided to change the technique, because we understand that we didn't have so much good animators, and we in the studio have just 2 and 2.5, and then we decided to switch to cutout, the technique which we used previous in Shamis and also in pigtail and Mr. Slipknot. And that's our first try to change that. And for cartoon movie, we should make also a trailer to present the project. And already for that, there is the film.
So you see the context in it was in 2016, or 17 when we. These are the other projects they're around, and interesting that they, although I applied for development slot, they put us in concept, and I don't know, most probably some of you have been there. At Cartoon Movie, you can present the project in 4 different stages: in concept, development, production, and coming soon, sneak preview. And so they put us in the concept, which was really a great decision and for us, because we were in one slot with 6 other projects, but it's very well. A lot of audience comes to these. A lot of broadcasters, distributors, sales agents are interested in the projects in concept. So we got a lot of attention there. It was our test if this project, which is with this story, this base, which takes place in Riga, if this could be interesting for international audience, if this film could travel. And so at Cartoon Movie, we tested it. This is our trailer that we presented there.
As you see, we use the same animation from previous trailer, but just changed technique.
Hi, I'm Jacob Bird. This is my dad. He's an architect. I want to be an architect too. Or a truck driver. In the beginning, I hated my dad's idea, leaving me alone to spend the summer in the suburbs.
They're not at home. It doesn't work. They didn't pay electricity.
But then I made friends with my cousin Mimmi. And guess who else? A gang of talking dogs.
So so this was still not the final look, but already we were closer to this. Right after our presentation, Jan Nashevsky from New York Film Sales, the sales agent, he texted me that he would like to talk to us, that he really likes the project. It was very nice. We knew Jan before because he distributed our Edmunds short film I Love Seals, and they at that time before they distributed either artistic shorts or live action, but for adult audience. And at that time they were thinking that they could also have in their catalog children content. So Jacob and Mimmi seemed interesting to them.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we are still understand that we are quite far of that final look what we would imagine, and here's just few steps for character development and in different stages. And here all the characters who are participating in the film in one row. But what was important, we didn't tell anything about the story. This is contemporary story, and it takes place in Riga, which is a real place, and a book called Maskachka story. And Maskachka, this is the district in Riga. It's almost in the very center, but somehow it happens that it's a little bit like not abounded, but it's not very commercial, high value, and there is no one wants to go to spend weekends in the parks. But that was actually one of the main things what attract us in that story. This is the contemporary story which takes place in the real city, and that's why we during development kind of very precisely try to capture the image of the Riga. And if you have been in Riga, then you can recognize. If not, then maybe this can work as inviting cards. And at one moment, yeah, we understand that if this is the real city, then these are the real streets, and then most probably our characters live in real address. And this is the house where Jacob and his father lives. And at one moment, Elina thought that it would be nice to see how the street looks from that angle, and just to draw the backgrounds for some scenes. And she went to the apartment, which is not apartment, but office of the lawyer. And she said, "Hello, I'm an artist. I'm working with the animation film, and I would like to see how the street looks from window of my character." And they are quite surprised, but they invite her, and yeah, you can see how it looks from that angle. And yeah, and we use the same technique also when we are working with the backgrounds for location in Moskachka. We actually put all locations in real map, and just to understand how it works, from which point to what characters are moving. And yeah, here you can see the parks. And at the beginning, Elin spent a lot of time just walking through all the streets and photographing and sketching on the streets. But a little bit later, we start using Google and Google Street View. You can put the camera, find the angle, and decide, okay, this would be the Mimmi house, this would be the that. And here you can see some stage of this research. This is
here Mimmi lives.
Yeah. And here you can how it looks in the film, a little bit differently, but still you can find. So yeah, and maybe I will explain you the pipeline or the way how we work with this cutout technique. This is the more as a research. We understand where we are, and the first step was the storyboard, and the second was Animateka, which is very rough, but yeah, this is the first step, and this is what I gave to the animators. And the second step is rough animation, but which is very precise, like frame by frame. It's the real timing. And we use this animation as a reference animation for cutout. We put this, and very precisely, frame by frame, on the top of that we add cutout puppets. Here you can see the cutout animation. And that, let's say, trick allows us to use just few very good animators and a lot of assistants. The animators made very rough, very sketchy drawings. They can produce around 3 minutes in months, one person, and afterwards the assistants kind of very technically just put on the top cutout animation. And yeah, this is and that also allows us to teach new students. We invite some students to at least try as assistants. And afterwards, on the top of that, we put again drawing animation just for the hair and smaller details, just to give more plastic feeling of animation. Here you can see some technical stuff. We use the software Moho, and here is some image from rigging. That's how we divide the character, and this is the rig of them. It's quite a simple and easy technique. There's some technical difficulties when we decide, we understand that we should change the resolutions of the image and just put automatically to replace and Moho, then you can receive something like that. This is how it looks in movement. Quite a lot of fun, of course, in the studio. And here's about some characters in the film. I thought one of the, not the problem, but maybe what I discovered later, after the film was finished, we quite, actually we all the time quite in rush. From very beginning we understand, okay, we'll almost, our date for premiere are set. Let's start. And we are all the time in the Russian, and there is no time to understand a lot of things. And this is about one of the character, which we use quite long in the same look out of book. That was the father of Mimmi, and that's how he looks in the book. He's ex-pirate, and he's very big and muscled, and we somehow automatically, even if we in our context use completely different way, he is more like comical character, we still somehow automatically continue using the same image because we somehow believe this is kind of true. And that's how he look. And when we understand this, it's not working out. He telling the things and it's not working, and then we decide we should invite some actors. Not really, yeah. These are just our inspiration, and we just decide to change this character to more like this. And that's how he looks on the film. Yeah, for the Animateka and for the editing process, yeah, we didn't have all dialogues written by the actors. I use my own voice to. Okay, and there's one small detail about him. Actually, he quite important person in the film, but after the premiere, we sent to the festival film, and the film was selected in Iran, in Children's Film Festival. And when we went to the screening, we realized that, film was re-edited. There is a censorship. They cut out around 4 minutes. Everything each scene is eagle.
Where you can see his tattoos. Those were censored out of the film. So it was quite surprising.
That things happen sometimes. Okay, there is few more reference for us just to build. These two characters, they are not in the script and they are not in the book, but we somehow thought that it would be nice if there would be some kind of slapstick episodes in the film. And yeah, we invite these two workers who are kind of represent Laurel and Hardy, how they look. And here's a small excerpt of animation. Okay, maybe we should rush. And yeah, there's a few more inspiration. This is from Andersone Blow Up. Quite often, when you will see the film, quite often we receive the question, so there is in the film the mimes, why they are, what they are doing there. And there is few reasons. We thought, as I said, which kind of place is Maskachka, and we thought to create the feeling that this is in a very specific place, and this is special. And then we put this scene with mimes in the park, playing the imaginative ball, just in very first scene when Jacob and father arrives in Maskachka. That was the one reason, and the second reason is that in this area, historically, there is the one theater where and one pantomime group working for many years, and which is very famous and very important for that theater scene, and this kind of or greetings to this pantomime group, and also some filmmakers.
So we developed a script, and it was very interesting that we developed this together with New York Film Sales. They were really early involved in the project. They gave notes on and helped to improve it. And also, New Euro Film Sales introduced us to Studio Letko. It's a studio based in Warsaw, Poland. And we already started to go into, we had finished the storyboard and Animateka, and it started slowly to go into production, but we understood that it's, although we started also training their assistants, but still we felt that we might not make it on time, so that we need extra help, so we were looking for animators outside, and with Letko, we in the beginning we decided to service animation in their studio. They also work in cutout, and this servicing slowly turned into co-production. We established a good cooperation with them. We together developed the pipeline. Our Edmunds and our lead animator went to their studio and showed to their animators what would be what animation we expect in the end, and
Sorry.
and so this is, and after we serviced 10 minutes of animation with them, we also applied at Polish Film Institute, and for minority co-production money. It was funny that we went there also with Edmunds to present to pitch the project to the experts of Film Institute, and before going we prepared together with the producer Jakub Karwowski our pitch for 20 minutes, which was supposed to be so long. When we were on the plane already, we received the message that it will be shorter, 15 minutes long. Then when we arrived an hour before the presentation, we heard that we have to make it in 10 minutes. And when we entered the room with the experts, they said, "We know the story, you have 2 minutes, pitch it to us." And so we had 2 minutes in which we convinced that it's going to be that it's a good cooperation and a story in which to support. So so we received 95,000. So from Latvian Film Center we received 820,000 euros, from Media Development 60,000, and from Polish Film Institute 95,000 euros, which was not such a big part of the budget, but. What we got was much more. We had a really a partner in which we could a trustful, reliable, someone to share the problems and to make it together. And it was a really great experience through which we went together. It was our first feature and first co-production, and I'm really happy with this collaboration.
There's just some examples. As Sabīne mentioned, this is the first co-production for us, and actually the very beginning is quite hard to understand how to deliver the animation to them. And if I showed you how it looks when I make the task for animators in our studio, it's very simple. It can start also from storyboard, and you just go and discuss on the table, this should be like this and this like that. But then for Polish partners, of course, that didn't work out like that. And this is the example how it looks like layouts. Yeah, we understand that we should prepare with the real design characters, not like just black and white drawings. And of course, it's much more it slows down us for that moment. And also communication, we use the asana, when you can put the tasks and then you receive the links of the animation, send back, and sometimes you spend whole day just commenting animation. That was quite
many
painful.
Days, many months.
The first months and a half was very painful, and then we decided, okay, we should go to Warsaw and just to at least spend 1 week with animators just to describe what kind of animation we are waiting for. And that helps, Then we understand the system, and after that we work in each day we start with the Skype. We just discuss things, and then with the lead animator, and that was somehow very helpful. And yeah, we shared the co-production was the Polish take, the
10
part.
minutes of animation, compositing, and composer was from Poland. And this is
Yeah, we luckily by Google found a very nice Polish composer. Just wrote contemporary Polish composer, and the almost first one.
Alexander Krzysztof Janczak is he works on the films, and this is the
this is the way how we communicate with him. I just say I would like something here, and this color or mood, and here in this color, and he kind of very easily get the idea what I want. Actually, we're very lucky about collaboration with him.
So we arrived to the marketing campaign. So we started. So we were planning to. No, we will tell about the change of edit before before marketing. It was late spring in 2018, and we had to premiere the film in October 2018. So it was already like close to finishing the film, to going into to the compositing and
first
sound.
draft editing. Yeah.
First draft, and we showed it to New Euro Film Sales, and we had already doubts while we were producing, but still we somehow saw that we will manage to deal with some problems that we saw in the
with the sound,
with the film, with the sound and dialogues, that we will manage it this way. But we showed it to Jan and his team, and they said that they think that it's not working, that the film is it lacks some dynamics, and that it's nice, but it's like. And then Jan suggested that he could find an editor in Poland, experienced, and that Edmunds could go in summer in June and have a session with the editor and re-edit the film. So basically already almost ready material. And we said, okay, yeah, let's try. And so Edmunds went there for 10 days, and they really did radical changes. What they introduced into the film, and if you will go and watch it, you will see that Jacob believes he has a superpower, that he can change reality with his drawings. And that was not in the book, and that was not in the script, and that was not in the story before. And it made a new angle on how a new perspective on the whole story. And once they came up with this idea, it was clear that it's really great, it works really nice, but it means that we cannot finish the film in October. So, but all the films were supposed to be premiered within 2018, and but I decided that I have to call Film Center and discuss the possibility that we postpone our premiere and go into 2019 to premiere it in January. And the situation was positive for us at that moment, because in autumn 2018, many films, centenary films, were coming out, one after another. There were premieres literally every second week. And also Film Center felt that there are too many premieres, that they need to give more space for the films to reach their audience, to have the attention. And so I'm really also thankful for this, their nice decision that they allowed us and another film to go into 2019, premiere there, and extend the celebration. So after that we completed the film on time in January. But we started our marketing campaign about a year before. I had a really great team working on the film. I had a campaign director, creative director. Yeah. 3 people who developed a social media strategy, a project manager, a PR agency, and together we brainstormed on how to market the film. It was really great from the Film Center. They gave 12,000 euros to each 100th anniversary film to promote it. So they also understood that it's important that they not only give the production money, but that they support the distribution and marketing. And so it was a competition also going on there, which will be the best 100th anniversary film and which film will have the best campaign out there. And it was really inspiring actually to see how producers were promoting their films. And also for us it was a good, we looked around and saw good examples. So here are the, some materials that we prepared for social media. At that time in Riga there was super popular this kendama. All the kids were walking around with this yeah, we produced some small clips and cards for different celebrations and yeah. And then, but what was more important, we wanted to talk about something that is bigger than the film, some subject that goes outside the story which happens in the film. And we, after some discussions, we decided to stay with the idea what can be improved in the city to make it more friendly and
it's more about also the film tells the story about the kind of be brave. You can do something even small, but that can change big things, and it's not always should be something very expensive or something very difficult. It can be just small steps.
Yeah, and we contacted a non-governmental organization entitled City for the People, and together we started raising awareness that people can influence things actually by really simple means. We produced some clips. This I will show just a little bit. It's on 4 different subjects that can be improved in the city. For example, this speaks about the winter time when still in Latvia, in Riga, they use salt on the ground, which is really damaging for the trees and for the animals and for the shoes, for everyone. And by replacing it by other materials, it can, for example, by sand, it can be really
more
effective. This is about slowing down the cars, which improves the city life, and yeah, for some other, and yeah, the intention was to really speak about and bring up the subject that actually there are really simple ways how to make the city more better for its inhabitants. And then we launched. There is a central song specially composed for the film. And months before the premiere, we launched it. This is the actor who was voicing our main dog, Boss. He's very famous, one of the best in Latvia. And he sang the song. It became very popular. It stayed on the top chart for 2 months. It was really great. People and kids were singing it before the premiere, so it was nice to have it. And then we also partnered with a beer company who produce also lemonades. And we contacted them, and we just saw that they could maybe they would could put our characters on their lemonade that they have. But they suggested that they could develop a special taste of maskačka of our film. And then the person who makes the taste, who the
Technologist, yeah.
She came to the studio and she watched the film, and she noticed that there in the backgrounds there are a lot of these plants which I couldn't find the English name for it. It's in Latvian it's called dog plant, and it's really funny
you can
that
see on the corners.
here on the labels, and but it turned out that this plant can be also used in cuisine in French kitchen. It's quite common, but in Latvia it was not so. But she found these fields where it grows and got this extract, and so we had these. Degustations, and so this is the taste we developed. We also, for this, on the other side of the bottle, there was notes which you can whistle and to have the theme of our main song. And this is an instruction how to do it. You will need 3 bottles, but better 4. Open them. You will need 3 notes. And the girl in the last was Mimmi, the voice actor of Mimmi. So yeah, here you can see some posters. Also, our partner was Breakfast Cereals. We during the premiere and the screening time when the film was released, they put our characters on their cereal packs, and they were. Inside were these stickers. Here we stationery produced. This was a poster for cinema, a toilet. It was the. Please don't drink from the from that. This was our marketing budget, the film center, the 12,000. Then we had a partner VOD platform. They produced making of videos. They put they supported the digital campaign with banners, and they bought the time on the web pages, and they also had they produced 3 programs, shows on which we appeared. We invested 23,000 euros also from our side. And the last I also wanted to tell that we also decided that we would like to bring our audience outside to the Maskachka and to this area where it takes place, and we organized a game, orientation game in the city. These are the rules, and here you can see the actual places from the film, and you could walk and have
Actually, the main multiplex cinema is quite near to the Maskachka, and we realized that kids came out of the screening and immediately they asked, where is it, Maskachka?
Where can we meet the talking dogs? And then a lot of children really believe that they can meet the talking dogs, but it was really nice, and they went to this Maskachka, which is actually a beautiful area. It has this dark side of it, but it has also very beautiful part of it. It has wooden houses, many parks, cemeteries, 7 different churches, so it's really great. And so this is also the another thing. We had this book, the story, then we had a film, and this is a comic book based on the film with the illustrations from the, we have it here also. Some images. Yeah, so this is the final the results. It's theatrical release was in Latvia. In Poland will be next year. In France it was just in autumn. In Spain right now in the Barcelona area there are screenings in cinemas, and next year will be also in Benelux countries. It's been selected at 50 festivals so far. So yeah, I think that's...
Very funny.